And welcome back to another BBM and Go podcast. Today's top 10 is post-apocalyptic video games, the worst and the best. Brian, you want to take us away and go.
Well, obvious Fallout's going to be on here. Anyone who's listened to the podcast or know anything about post-apocalyptic games knows Fallout has to be up there someplace. 1, 2, 3, 4, even 76. Let me not take too much more time with that. Mike?
Fallout 3, baby! It's the best around. I don't want us to get a DMC takedown. Yeah, it's hard to beat that one.
I agree.
Okay, yeah, that one's probably going to go on the list no matter what. And I also have The Last of Us. Can you guys argue with that?
That was going to be my pick.
Okay, sorry. I stole your thunder.
That's all right. Borderlands. Does that count?
Yeah.
It seems post-apocalyptic. I don't know if they ever actually explain if it's like a post-apocalyptic world or if it's just a different planet kind of thing. I don't remember.
I have mixed feelings about Borderlands, to be honest. I guess we can talk about it more when we start deliberating the list.
Which one? Probably 2?
Yeah.
Probably 2. Yeah.
Probably 2, yeah.
Any more?
I just like the little claptraps.
Claptrap was fantastic.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2?
Yeah, that fits. You'll go with Half-Life 2 over 1?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Half-Life 1 wouldn't really count as post-apocalypse.
Yeah, that was more...
It's like right at the beginning of the apocalypse, I feel.
I think we'll take a very liberal approach. If something's happening, like, I want to put Dying Light on this list, and that's apocalyptic. Not really post... At least in their area, it's post-apocalyptic. Let's be rather loose with this post-apocalyptic thing. So, Dying Light, unless anyone has arguments with that.
Put it on the list. We'll deliberate.
And
Did you get all the Fallouts, like Vegas, 4?
Oh, we'll debate which one is better than the other for the Fallouts.
The Walking Dead Telltale series?
Oh, I'm going to be against it. I played it, but I put it on. We'll debate it.
I didn't actually play it, but I did watch a full playthrough, and it seemed kind of interesting. I know that seems to be the most popular of the Telltale games.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it.
There was a Walking Dead game, too. I don't think I ever got to play it. But
yeah, it was based off the Land of the Dead, Road to Fendrix. It was basically about the CEO, badass, who takes over Pittsburgh or wherever in Pennsylvania, that little town in Land of the Dead.
This was the Walking Dead video game?
Yep. It was basically his story, I believe. I could be wrong or misremembering. It's basically how he set up this community.
Okay. Trying to think of other purely post-apocalyptic games.
I'm throwing on one that you guys won't know about, Soma.
Okay.
It's the walk-in simulator. I want it represented on this list because it was good. You don't know it's post-apocalyptic. You start off as a guy. You basically go and you get a brain scan. And then after the brain scan, you wake up in some weird place with no one around. You have to find your way. You piece clues together. You don't know what the hell's going on. There's these robots who think they're humans. So that should be the tip-off. Spoilers for Soma for anyone who wants to play it, who hasn't played it. Warning you right now. You're a robot. You find out you're a robot. You basically, they took scans from human beings and put them in robots as AIs. And the world is fucked because something destroyed it, and you're going through this underground lab, and you're trying to get your AI program onto this satellite that they're sending digital human beings out. Pretty cool game, very atmospheric. The gameplay, puzzle base, the scares aren't really there, but it's worth mentioning.
It does sound interesting. What about Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah, I haven't played that. Have you?
I honestly haven't played it either, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, also another one that fits the bill is Nira Automaton. Basically, you're also robots in a post-human world, apocalyptic. Do we want to throw either?
I was going to say, if we're going to throw in that kind of scenario, what about Sonic?
Sonic?
I mean, it's like the whole world's taken over by Robotnik and everybody's turned into robots and shit. And I don't know. Seemed kind of post-apocalyptic to me.
Yeah, we'll be rather liberal, Sonic.
Because there really aren't many post-apocalyptic games, surprisingly.
Oh, there are quite a few, but I had one in my head, but I forgot it. Damn it.
Persona.
Persona does not fit that.
Persona.
You're like Brian wants to say it, but he can't because of the subject matter. Yes, Persona is a good game that you got, and actually, the first few Personas it is post-apocalyptic, so I am gonna put it on.
Oh God,
I know.
What did you do, Mike?
I forgot, but it would only be like Persona 1 and 2, but it's more apocalyptic than post-apocalyptic. Let's go on honorable mentions just because you brought it up, Mike. If I brought it up, different story.
Oh, you know what else? Metro. You guys know Metro?
Oh, Metro, yes. That's definitely one that I haven't played, but I hear good things about.
Yeah, I played a demo, and I think I might buy it because it was pretty fucking cool. Russian post-apocalyptic first-person shooter.
And Gears can get on this list if you want to consider it.
Yeah, Gears. I mean, it's not Earth, but yeah, sure. Same deal.
We're being liberal. If Sonic can go on, Gears can go on.
I never played.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Good.
No, I'm just trying to think of older games that may have been post-apocalyptic. Like,
could Zero Tolerance be considered?
I don't think so, because that was all on a space station, wasn't it?
Okay. I think you came back down to Earth towards the later things, and I guess not apocalyptic. I think the aliens from the spaceship basically got down to Earth, so you have to take them out before they spread and destroy the world. So let's exclude it, but it's a good footnote here.
Doom was kind of the same thing, right? It was kind of contained, yeah.
Typically, from what I know of the series.
Was that Parasite Eve, was that post-apocalyptic, or was that... I think that was just one particular area, like kind of like Resident Evil.
Pre-apocalyptic.
Resident Evil? Question mark?
I feel like that was usually contained to like Raccoon City, like for the most part, but...
Yeah, I put Dying Light on, so if we want to be really liberal, we can say it. Let's just put it down.
Never played, I'm cheating and looking at a list. I never played Dead Island.
No, I wouldn't put that. That was a crappy game.
Was Twisted Metal set in a post-apocalyptic world? I kind of gave that vibe.
I think not the earlier ones, but I think they got it to like Calypso eventually destroyed the world.
Okay.
Oh, I keep meaning to play the Mad Max game. It shows up on the Steam sales from time to time.
Yeah, Mad Max.
It really doesn't look bad.
No, it's got pretty good reviews from when I did some research.
I'm really stingy with buying games nowadays because I feel like half the games I buy, I'll get like 20 to 30 hours in and not finish them. But that one I thought about buying. I actually bought Icewind Dale, complete side note. So I'm looking forward to playing that tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be my chill day. So that'll be good.
Ooh, how about Terminator 2 on Sega? We used to play that.
Fuck yeah.
Arcade as well, yeah.
Way to go, Bill, getting some of those retro games out there. T2.
I feel like I really want to throw in some retro stuff, you know?
I mean, that's good if we can think of some. You go look up post-apocalyptic games, you're only going to get the new stuff or maybe the older Fallouts.
Yeah.
When I looked up the list, even Not Tactics, that horrible game for the Xbox was on the list. I'm like, oh, I guess it's Fallout, so it's post-apocalyptic, but that was a horrible game.
The Brotherhood of Steel one or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Metal Gear Survive. as a dishonorable mention.
Sure.
It was release a Metal Gear game after firing Kojima and have it be fucking god awful. The audacity.
What was it?
Konami.
Post-apocalyptic.
I mean, it was like zombies and shit.
Okay, we'll just throw it on. We don't know if it's post-apocalyptic, but it gets a dishonorable mention.
Death Stranding seems very post-apocalyptic.
Oh, yeah, it is. Death Stranding. I wouldn't want to play the game from what I know about it.
I still want to play it. I don't own a PS4, but I still want to play it.
It'll be on PC soon enough.
Yeah, I'm also not spending more than $20. So.
So you'll still be a few years away from that. It'll drop for the full price when it comes to PC, but it might come down fairly quickly. I mean,
yeah, so
it's getting praised by critics, but a lot of the fans are like, no.
Kojima say some off the wall shit like, "Oh, Americans, all they know is first person shooters. That's why this game isn't being received well."
Probably,
what a fucking douche thing to say.
I mean, it's a good concept and ideas, but when you have no stakes, I mean, I heard about the mechanics. You die, you explode, and you come back to life. I mean, it's an interesting mechanic, but you need stakes in games like this.
Was Disco Elysium post-apocalyptic?
No, that was maybe pre-apocalyptic. It was a failing society, but it was very much like Soviet Russia. Had that vibe.
Russia?
Yeah.
Apocalypse post-spew.
We might insult some Russians by saying Disco Elysium is post-apocalyptic because...
If it was based in Russia, it's post-apocalyptic.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah.
That was contained also, but
Was it contained?
barely.
You might be right. You might be right. I don't know. That was what was kind of... I was like, there should be more zombie stuff on here. But,
Yeah.
Oh,
but
Left
almost
4
all
Dead.
the Resident Evils.
Left 4 Dead.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you said Dead Rising.
No. Left 4 Dead.
Okay. Sorry, I got the Left 4 Dead. Yeah, that was. I'm pretty sure that was Apocalypse. I thought you said. Whoa, my brain's weird.
I never played it, but I know it has a great reputation, and I know you guys both like it. So I would be fine with Last of Us being the number one early.
Oh, I think Fallout 3 is going to take number 1.
That's
mine.
with that.
Yeah. There's things I really like about Fallout 4, and I think they kind of expanded the gameplay a lot. But Fallout 3 is still holds the number 1 spot for me.
I still argue Vegas is slightly better, but
How many Fallouts are we going to slot into the list? That's going to be the real question.
I think we should leave it at 2.
Either that, or we're just going to say the Fallout series and leave it at that. I don't know how many that knocks off the list.
Yeah, maybe we should just say the Fallout series as a whole is number 1, because no matter what sort of gamer you are, there's a Fallout that you like. There's the retro
like
Fallout.
You could honestly take 3 spots right off the bat with Fallout. In my opinion, you could Vegas 4 and 3. You could take 3 spots. So it just depends on whether or not we want to group them.
Yeah, I say group it as number 1. As a series as a whole. I'm thinking Last of Us is 2. I mean, the gameplay is a little lacking, but the storyline is probably the best.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. I think if we're going to put the Fallouts together, then yeah, Last of Us is the number 2.
Were you a real Half-Life fan, Bill?
See, here's the thing with Half-Life. I really liked it, and I thought that the gameplay was solid, the storyline seemed good, but I had so much trouble playing with that game because it gave me terrible, terrible headaches. And I tried adjusting the settings. And it's a motion sickness thing. I know it's something to do with the frame rate. It is super weird because it's the only video game that's ever done that to me, and I don't get motion sickness on boats, cars, anything else, even when I read and do other shit. I have no idea why that one particular video game did that, but I could only play it in like 15, 20-minute clips, or else it would make me like horribly ill for like hours.
Yes.
What is this?
I'd like Half-Life.
Half-Life. We're talking about Half-Life 2. We're debating
I'd like to try to go back
higher or
and
lower.
finish it by like trying to adjust the settings and see if I can get the frame rate to where it doesn't make me sick. But this super weird. I don't know, but you know.
Yeah, parts of Half-Life 2, I kind of just threw it on there because I was hard up to think of post-apocalyptic games. Parts of it I really enjoyed. I think the sequence when you're in like the graveyard with that preacher, that was really good. But I didn't think it was difficult enough. I thought the enemy AI was pretty fucking dumb. I did like the vehicle. I know that's what you're saying gave you trouble, but
No, the whole thing. Just playing it.
Damn.
Yeah. No, it was like almost immediate. I was like, "What the hell is this?" It's like giving me headaches and making me dizzy. It had to do with like the motion sickness thing.
Sure.
You know, which is really weird because I don't get motion sickness at all.
Yeah, I wonder if it was like a setting or something.
It had to have been. That's what I'm saying. I should probably go back and try to play it on like a different monitor and change the settings. Because I had adjusted the settings to try it, and it helped some, but it still made me sick after I played it for like 15, 20 minutes at clip.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, did we end up numbering it, or are we debating that now?
No, we're debating what the third is because we plugged in Last of Us into the second one while you stepped out.
Sure. Yeah, sorry again about that.
I mean,
And we decided to group Fallouts into one. Otherwise, it would take 3 slots.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like just to wrap up the Half-Life 2 conversation, I feel like it should be on the list, but probably not very high because, again, it was super relevant. People have been waiting a long time for it. Storied part of a franchise. Parts of it were really good. Parts of it were very lackluster for it being a AAA game. So I think it would make sense if it wound up at like 10 or 9 or something.
Okay. I actually say Gears should probably end up in the third spot, the Gears series. Gears of War.
I can see that.
Yeah, Gears 1, I enjoyed thoroughly.
Yeah.
I think I got like halfway through 2. My buddies Franklin and AJ got it release day, and we played all night, and we got like almost all the way through it. It kind of lost its appeal by the time I got to the end of 2, honestly.
Yeah. It was kind of more the same. I mean, the storyline kind of continued fairly well, but it was kind of more the same. They fixed some things in 2, which I appreciated. Just some of the gameplay that was a little clunky.
Sure.
But yeah, 1 was amazing when I first played it.
Yeah, I love their like nameless, faceless sidekick guy. You know what I'm talking about? The one that
the one that always had the helmet on. You talking about?
Yeah.
He had a name. I'm trying to remember what it was, but yeah, I don't think he ever takes his helmet off.
And he was kind of set up to like get an early death, but I don't think he died through the first one.
I don't think so. Not through the first one.
Kind of made it seem like he was going to be just like cannon fodder, but he ended up, which I thought was kind of cool, a little subversive.
And I'm just going to throw this out there. I enjoyed Gears better than Halo, with all the hype.
Totally agree, 100%.
Everything. Gameplay, story, everything. I thought Gears was better than Halo. And I know that's like sacrilegious to say to Xbox fans, but I think as a Xbox only title, Gears blows Halo out of the water.
Not going to argue with that. I mean, Halo was a fairly good game, but Gears had more of a gritty feel, in which you could consider Halo a apocalyptic game, because if they didn't stop all the shit that was going on, shit might have went down. And we're being really liberal. Where are we going to slot in Sonic? I almost want to put it at 3.
I kind of want Gears at 3 and Sonic at like 4. I would not be mad at that.
I'm just drawing off the cartoons, like especially the Sonic cartoon where everything was like ruled by Robotnik. Everything was all like, I don't know, destroyed and polluted, and everybody was enslaved as robots and shit. So I was like, that's kind of post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, well, I'll go with that. I'll be like, we don't know if it's post-apocalyptic, but we like the game and we're throwing it here.
I never even owned a Sega Genesis, and I love that game.
We think it's post-apocalyptic, so good enough for us. Our standards. Anyone played Dying Light? To compare.
I have not. I'm gonna look it up real quick just to see if I've ever seen any gameplay of it. Like that kind of counts.
Considering what I know about Mad Max, that was praised to high hell. I think that should take the 5 spot. I was curious about it. It was one of those things. Oh, I want to play that game. Then a couple of games came out and I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I heard good things. It's a good open world game with good vehicle mechanics.
I feel like it gets extra points too for being a movie game because those are historically bad.
This is true.
Seem to get really well received.
Can we put that at 5 unless someone has something better to put there?
Mike with the emoji thumbs up.
This is a podcast, Mike. All likelihood they will not see the visuals.
Damn it! We got to get in at least one clip of me fucking around with the.
Well,
maybe earlier when you guys were just talking and I was spamming them.
Well, try doing it. Try to do it later during the when we do the final list. So, but let's move on. Are we good at Mad Max at 5 or
Sure.
anyone? Okay.
I'm gonna go on Steam right now and see how much it is because I may pick that up this week. I doubt I'll have any time, but I might.
Also check the reviews for Metro. I think that should be fairly high up. But
At least they came out with a recent one. Metro Exodus or Redo. I guess it was just a polished version. I'd be fine with putting Metro up there because the gameplay videos I've watched were fantastic.
yeah,
I mean, I feel a little dirty about putting a game that I haven't played higher than a game I have, but
I mean, for a while, I still sort of have FPS, first-person shooter fatigue. I mean, Borderlands sort of circumvents it with all its nostalgia with me, but
Borderlands should be next.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. Yeah.
Okay. Again, a caveat, it's definitely post-apocalyptic, so that works for us.
Mad Max is $20 right now on Steam. I'm gonna wait for the sale.
I'm only going to spend $20. I'll wait for the sale.
Okay. I'm hesitant to put Left 4
$20
Dead
with
up.
tax. Under $20 with tax. Sorry.
I'm hesitant to put Left 4 Dead up here. I think Dying Light deserves it more than Left 4 Dead. I mean, parkour. It was basically like pretty much a first-person narrative story with parkour and zombies.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the screenshots. It looks pretty fucking cool, if I'm being honest. It has almost like a good Far Cry mixed with like Mirror's Edge kind of vibes.
So put that at 7.
Honestly, we got Fallout at number 1, and we got Half-Life 2 on the list. That's really the big one. Those are the big ones, in my opinion. For me, you know.
We'll put Half-Life at 10 for now. Half-Life 2 at 10, or just Half-Life since we're doing series.
If it gets dropped, I don't care. Honestly, I won't.
Okay, tentative 10 for Half-Life 2.
Tentative 10.
And I think Metro should be 8 after Dying Light. Because at least I played Dying Light. But I hear really good things about Metro. So that leaves us with 9.
Yeah, I played Metro a little bit. It was the parts I played lived up to the hype. It's very gritty, and it's one of those first-person shooters where like ammo conservation really matters, which I think is important when you're building a good horror-esque game.
I hate to be selfish, but I want to push Soma at number 9. Anyone has any other ideas for it? Persona's a joke. It's going on honorable mentions. Resident Evil isn't really post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really fit.
I feel like that was a bit of a reach.
Twisted Metal is also a joke. T2, the game, sorry, Bill. I remember it being just a standard shoot 'em up.
A rail shooter, yeah.
Yeah, it was a rail shooter. Honorable mention, though, for sure.
Yeah.
I was just excited because I remember getting the light gun for Sega, and that was like the only game I could friggin' find that was a rail shooter to use it.
Yeah, my cousin's stepson had it, and we played it a lot when I was visiting or whatever.
Okay, that's honorable mention. Persona's the joke honorable mention.
So, my cousin's stepson, would that be my step cousin, I guess?
Huh? That's out of left field.
Your brother's sister's cousin's roommate, right?
Okay, for honorable mention, what do you think? Walking Dead, the Tall Tales game, or Resident Evil?
Just
Send
a
to
little,
the
though.
world as we know it, and we're doing post-apocalyptic games, and hopefully this mess will end in the next few months. I mean, yeah, we have at least a year. We're gonna take at least a year to recover from this mess, but let's get back to the topic. Not talk about depressing things.
Fun stuff.
Okay, so I can slot in my number 9 Soma, or should Half-Life 2 come before Soma?
Fill that slot, Daddy.
Okay. Thanks, Mike, for the innuendo that we all needed.
Put your dick in my butt.
But
If you catch my meaning, right?
okay, we have Metal Gear Survivor as dishonorable mention, Terminator 2 as the retro honorable mention, Persona, just because you brought it up, as the joke honorable mention. But what do you think, Resident Evil or the Tall Tales Walking Dead? I say Resident Evil, just as the not quite apocalyptic game.
I mean, when it comes to Telltale Resident Evil or Telltale Walking Dead or Resident Evil, there's like no comparison.
Okay.
If we're counting Resident Evil as a...
That's the thing. Yeah.
That's why it's only getting the honorable mention spot.
Because they're usually like contained areas, you know? It's not really an apocalyptic event. It's just kind of an outbreak somewhere.
Yeah, everything seems to still be functioning.
Yeah.
Okay, for the definitive BBM and Go podcast, Top 10 Tuesdays, yada, yada, yada. That's long enough already. We have I should start at the dishonorable mention. I don't know if it's post-apocalyptic, but Metal Gear Survivor was quite a crappy game.
The worst.
Number 10 spot, Half-Life 2, because it's post-apocalyptic and it's a great game.
For the most part.
Number 9 spot, Soma. Basically, I described it earlier in the podcast. It's quite a mindfuck and has its problems, but the story is grade A. Number 8, the Metro series. You're underground, it's cold, it's Russia. You gotta survive, man. Number 7, Dying Light. Parkour! And zombies. Number 6, we don't know if this is post-apocalyptic, but it feels that way, and Borderlands 2. Although Borderlands 1 was okay, and Borderlands 3 was fun, but with a crappy script. Horrible writing in that. Number 5, Mad Max. Finally, a decent movie adaptation video game. Number 4, Sonic. We don't know if it's post-apocalyptic, but fuck you, it's a good game. And it feels that way. Number 3, Gears of War. Post-apocalyptic in the stars, with many things trying to eat out your face. Number 2, The Last of Us. Best story-driven game that has almost zombie-like creatures. And for the honorable mentions, because Mike brought it up, Persona 1 and probably the pair of the sequels. It's not quite post-apocalyptic and it's rather old, but it's here in honorable mentions. Speaking of retro, we have the light gun shooter T2, Terminator 2. Assholes with their emojis. And it would probably be higher on the list if we could concentrate it in the post-apocalyptic place, Resident Evil series. Overall, good. With some bad parts here and there. And your number one post-apocalyptic game, no surprise if you listen to this podcast all, is Fallout series. No matter what your tastes are, RTS, tactical, first-person shooter, there is something in the franchise for you. And speaking of, it's going to be our podcast topic most likely during our Friday. I hope you can join us for that, but if you have some place to be, I want to know how. Okay, gents, that was it.
Here's us sucking Fallout's dick.
Like normal, Maryland boys finding Bethesda games the best because they're local, homegrown.
Okay, so quick thing before we wrap it up. I Googled "Is Sonic the Post-Apocalypse?" and in the description for the TV show, in a post-apocalyptic and dystopian future, all life has been challenged by the oppression and tyranny as the evil Dr. Robotnik is on the wake of controlling Mobius.
Okay.
So
we can feel more confident in our pick.
yes.
Yes.
So, Bill, take us out.
All
and
right.
Go.
Well, thanks for tuning in and listening. Hopefully you had a good time. Don't forget to like and follow us for more antics from BBM Productions. And don't forget to tell us how wrong we were about our list in the comments. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if you saw it, Mike, but in the Facebook thing, I suggested